Friday Night Funkin's modding community has been alive for a long time now. With almost 4 years of making FNF mods, there are plenty of people who slowly became FNF modders from their enjoyment of the game and the community. And with the case for most FNF modders, you'll probably make and work on many FNF mods over time. So in today's video, I'll be going over every single FNF mod I made, from 3 years ago to present day, to see which mod was the best out of all the mods I've worked on. Let's begin. Now the way I'll be ranking these mods is going over every mod I've worked on from oldest to newest. I'll be talking about the mod for a bit, then go over some extra stuff, like my thoughts on the aspects of it and behind the scenes stuff. I'll then rank it on the overall quality of the mod and how well it was to work on. I'll also be skimming quickly through the super old mods I've worked on, cause they're not very good. Now with all that out of the way, let's begin with where it all started. Now this is the very first mod I've worked on. It released 3 years ago, and it's based on a flash game called Duck Life, where you train and race a duck. I was bored one day and just randomly decided to try and make an FNF mod in one night. I've already gone over all this stuff in my last video, but I just want to emphasize how old this mod feels. The replaced sprites, kit engine being used instead of psych, video game OOC being charted. This is like what most FNF mods were like at the very start of FNF modding. It's just kind of crazy how far we've come from all that. Well anyways, the mod was made in one night, so doing all of that very quickly wasn't very fun. And also the mod isn't very good for a multitude of reasons. Kinda charming, but still not a good mod. D tier. This was just a mod with some fan-made charts from a Matt B-side OST. The mod is just bad charting, weird animations. Nothing much to say. D tier. Same thing like the Matt mod, fan-made chart from another song, bad animations and events. You know the deal. D tier. So this mod is actually an extension of a certain video on my channel about a Hatsune Miku corruption skin. It somehow got 1 million views. I genuinely don't know why or how this got so many views when it's literally just Hatsune Miku but purple. Anyways, this mod got 2 updates that somehow managed to get decent stats on Game Banana. It's just Miku covers and more bad charting / coding. D tier. Now this is the first mod I worked on that wasn't by myself. It was with another friend that knew how to do art and animation. And this is the first mod with custom songs. Unfortunately, the songs suck. Yeah, I was just messing around with a free trial version of FL Studio and obviously had no idea what I was doing. So though, it's pretty cool to see how far we've come as we both continue to work on mods together and slowly improve our skills. The mods you'll see coming up are really going to make you see progress on these things. Here's also the thoughts of the artist about the mod. C tier. Alright, now that the old mods I've worked on are out of the way, we can start with some mods that I've worked on that actually have some substance to them. This mod was yet another fan chart, this time on the Scrap the Blinded by Sin song. Now this is the first mod that actually wasn't completely awful. The events were decent, and while the art is very basic, it gets the job done. This was also the first mod of mine to gain a lot of traction, with pretty good stats on Game Banana, and even community games playing the mod. That's an achievement that most FNF modders strive to achieve, and I finally did it. So it's pretty cool to see my work getting out there for once. And this mod definitely was the catalyst to start working on my modding skills and really get myself out there. Sure, the mod is definitely showing its age, but even with the charting and art not looking too good, it definitely had an impact on me in my direction for FNF modding. A tier. Also a bit of a side note, but I just realized I made like 6 videos on the relapse mouse. I have no idea why I stuck with that for a while. Alright, now this is the first mod I've worked on with multiple other people. But first, let me give some context. The first Terminal Beats mod was made for an FNF game jam where you had to use Super Nintendo sound effects instead of regular FNF voices and sounds. Terminal Beats had some very good pixel art and tunes, made by I'd say some of the most talented people in the FNF community, so it's no surprise that they lost. Then after that, a revamp of the mod with FNF vocals was in the works, but started to go through development hell, as 90% of FNF mods do. So I stepped in and offered to code and chart for the mod, since I gained some confidence and experience with the Blinded by Sin mod, and the rest is history. I'd say the mod holds it pretty well, especially for it being my first time working on an FNF mod that just isn't a fan chart by myself. The mod also got a Christmas update for another game jam, this time the theme being Christmas themed, but now with a full mod team and way more experience than when we first started, we can definitely win this mod jam. We lost. Losing 2 mod jams is kinda embarrassing, but there was also a mod awards being held by Game Banana, which had Terminal Beats in the underrated mod category. This was finally our chance to shine and win something, and especially with the category being underrated, surely there was no other mod that could beat. We lost. We actually didn't just lose, but straight up got dead last in a category about being underrated. You know, I'm starting to see a pattern here that I don't like. Anyways, after the mod was in a stalemate for a while, we tried to revive it twice, and both times we didn't get far. And hey, I mean, for the second attempt, I really tried my best here. I recharted all of the songs and redid pretty much all of the code for the mod, but the mod just kind of went nowhere. It was just kind of difficult finding people to work on for the mod. I guess there's a reason there's not a whole lot of pixel mods out there. Anyways, even with all the road bumps that happen with terminal beats, I still think it's a good mod. They got me to improve my modding skills and managed to also meet some pretty cool new people. Reviving the mod again has also been on my mind a lot lately. I mean, hey, you know what they say, third time's the charm. Hopefully one day it'll come true. S tier. So this is another mod where I actually composed for it. Now, is the song any good? Nope. It was an honest attempt, but people really didn't like the songs in the mod. Even when the song got remade, no one really cared at that point. D tier. Not much else to say, but I did make an unfinished remake of the song around like 10 months ago. Yet another mod where I composed for it. This time, it was more so of a last resort, since we were trying to look for composers for the mod but couldn't find any. So I dug around the work in progress song that I was working on and extended it and added vocals. And while now looking back, the song sounds pretty empty, I think it survived for the time being and really got me to focus on composing songs more. A tier. So there was only one more song added to the mod, even though we were planning to add a lot more. We wanted to cancel the mod and just leave it be. The song in question also wasn't really that good. I think this is a good example to not force yourself to work or update something just because you feel like you need to. Just work on it on your own pace and try to have some fun with it. B tier. The long-awaited update on the Versus Herobrine mod. This mod is definitely by far the most popular mod I've worked on. Even community games showcased it. That's not 2 times he showcased something I've worked on. Anyways, okay, I know this is gonna seem like a hot take, but there's only like 2 memorable songs in the mod. Also, the mod wasn't really managed that well, with people coming and going, and at the end I had to code in almost the entire mod by myself for the actual public build. I wouldn't say it was all bad, since I was a newbie at coding when I first started, and by the end of the mod I could definitely tell that I improved a massive amount. B tier. Same thing like with the Funk Battles demo, another Roblox one-shot mod composed by yours truly. The song this time is okay, but really repetitive and boring. The highlight of the mod though is the coding. I'll just say it here, this mod is definitely one of my most impressive showcases of my coding skills. There were scrolling backgrounds, custom UI, 6 mechanics that are randomized, and last but not least, a whole boat editor where you can move and place parts for a boat where you can actually stand on. Not to mention this was all crammed into just one script with Lua. While the mod's music aged like milk, the coding is still impressive in my opinion. B tier. This mod was in the whole year of development, pretty much just because we couldn't get Metal BF Sprite made. I'm telling you, there's like a curse of pixel mods, just always having some kind of development hell. Anyways, the mod is fine. The music's good, the art's good, the coding and charting do the job. The main problem of the mod is kind of just lack of substance. Like, it's pretty much just a couple of songs with not many events taking place. Still a good mod though, just not anything to write home about. B tier. Now, I joined this mod from a help wanted about wanting to remaster Versus Megalo Strike Back. The idea of remastering the mod has been on my mind for a while, and this seemed like a perfect opportunity to make a good remaster. Unfortunately, the mod lost steam pretty quickly, with the mod starting to get bloated and sidetracked when this was simply supposed to be a 1-song remaster. Though I have been given permission to showcase the canned build, which I'll upload the footage on my second channel, if anyone is interested to see what it was done for it. B tier. I was asked to join this mod by the director of the Megalo mod I just went over, and not gonna lie, I was hyped to work on such a cool mod. I got like 4 songs coded in with events, but like the same tune with the Megalo Strike Back, the mod lost steam. The mod hasn't been officially cancelled, so there is a chance it could revive, but the chances of it are very, very slim to say the least. B tier. Yep, the 3rd update to the Slap Battles mod, this time completely overhauling everything. The songs, art, animation, charts, and code have all been completely changed. This mod update was made just by me and Cooley, the artist I mentioned earlier. And now's the perfect time to talk about some of the most asked questions I've gotten from the mod. Firstly, for those that are confused on why we have a Pippi song randomly thrown in the mod, well, because it's a joke song that's based on a real concept art made by someone named Henry XD. Cooley was against the idea at first, but come on, it was too funny not to do it. Secondly, the Funk Battles video did quite alright on the YouTube side, but quite bad on the Game Banana side when it first released. And you know, it is what it is. Not every mod you make is going to be the next hit single or Mario Bandits. As long as you had fun and improved on something, then that's all that matters. But recently, the YouTube upload of the mod has blown up. It's sitting at 100k views right now, and I'm genuinely so confused on why it's suddenly gained so much traction. I mean, I'm not complaining, but more so just really confused. Okay, and thirdly, I've been getting a lot of comments asking to update the mod, and to be honest, there probably won't be another update. While yes, things like the songs could be majorly improved, since most of them are pretty bare bones, and they're all like 9 or 10 months old, the mod is still, in my opinion, pretty solid. And with just me and Cool Leaf working on the mod, it's pretty impressive that we managed to make a whole FNF mod just by ourselves. The mod had 3 updates, and I think that's enough. Also, as of the time of me writing the script, Cool Leaf is already off to university, and school is starting soon for me too. So there's kind of no way we can work on mods together, especially Funk Battles for the time being. Sorry to disappoint, but the mod's good just the way it is, and it's best just to move on. Also, I don't play slap battles or Roblox for that matter anymore, so an update would be a lot harder to make. As for the ranking, the mod is by far the biggest one I've worked on, with the least amount of people, and the work me and Cooley did was awesome. The memories we made from it were better than whatever we made for the mod. S tier. Alright, before we get into the last 3 mods I've worked on, I want to go through some honorable mentions. These are for mods that I didn't really do much for, but still might as well mention. This was a mod that was planned after the success of the Blinded by Sin fan chart. It didn't get very far, pretty much just the logo and background and sprites made for it. A one-shot mod about Senpai and his rival. I offered the code for the mod, and got the simple character moving code in the game, but other than that, I really didn't do much. And when the director wanted to switch to a completely different engine, that's basically where my contributions to the mod ended. I asked to join during the development of Blocking Myths, although the mod is still on hold to this day, and to be honest, I probably won't be working on it. This is like the most recent mod I've joined, and yeah, I haven't done anything for it. The mod doesn't even have a name yet. Alright, now back to the final 3 mods I've worked on. This mod was the last mod being Cooley worked on together. This is the last mod release I worked on with anyone actually. Now to be honest, I didn't know much about Regret Everter at the time. The game's alright, but I'm no fan of it. Cooley on the other hand was really into the game. So for fun, we just made a mod for it. The mod's 6 months old now, but it holds up pretty well and everything. Even the music is still good. A tier. Not much else to say to be honest. Other than when I worked on Refunkivator, I had a 4-month gap and not working on any FNF mod. So I was pretty rusty when working on the mod. Still though, good times. Now, while there isn't much to comment on development side since there's already a video on that, I just want to emphasize that the last time I worked on by myself was for the Blinded by Sin fan chart, and doing that in under 3 hours was pretty cool. B tier. Also fun fact, I remade the grand clock that was in the background for the thumbnail. Alright, now we're on to the final mod release that I've worked on. Sadly, there isn't much to be said as there's already a whole video on this, but I do want to comment on some stuff. Most notably, the Duck's vocal sounding off-key, which was a fair criticism, don't get me wrong. But you'll have to keep in mind that I am not used to working alone on mods at all anymore. Honestly, I'm not even used to making mods in general, unless it's for a video. So when I heard the Duck's vocals, I didn't have anyone else to tell me it sounded weird. And since I composed, charted, and coded the song in the game, I already got used to the Duck's vocals and couldn't hear the problems with it. But after a bit of the mod being out, I did make a hotfix update. It makes it so that you can switch between the new vocals or the old ones. And hopefully the newer vocals sound better. Anyways, this mod took quite a while to make since it was just me working on it, not to mention still having to make a whole video about it. But I'm glad how the mod and the video turned out, and I'm glad y'all think so too. This mod shows just how much someone can improve over time. When I started off making FNF content, it was bottom of the barrel videos, just random images photoshopped over characters. But over time, I managed to improve my skills in FNF modding. I also started to improve my YouTube content to where it is today. Never give up on something, keep pushing through. A tier. And that's all of my FNF mods ranked. It's kind of cool going back to see from where it all started to today and see how much I've improved on all the things that happened since. I hope me going over 20 plus mods I've worked on was a good enough 20k special. I'm very grateful for all the recent support on my videos. And I was worried at first that this whole YouTube commentary thing wasn't going to work out. But fortunately it has worked out, and I'm very happy to share my modding experience with you all. Anyways, make sure to like and subscribe if you haven't already. And let me know in the comments what y'all thought of the list and other future video ideas you have. Well, see ya.